Hello, wonderful people, and welcome back. This time we're going to do a different video, which is I want to provide value. Like I've said, I've been writing a book, and I was in the process of writing, but now I'm just gathering ideas. Let's be honest about that. So this is going to be a playlist, inshallah. It will be either about updates of what's going on in my writing process of my first book, my first ever book. It's the only thing that I've been writing, that I've written in my life. I have I have zero experience. I don't know anyone who's a writer, so it's not my thing or a family thing, or I wasn't exposed to writing through friends and stuff. I just recently was introduced to reading books, and I started reading books. Not fictional books, non-fiction, like finance and self-development books. Some people say self-help. Shut the fuck up. Self-development is developing. It's growing. Yeah. So, I'm not sure what am I going to name the playlist. It's either, like I said, about updates, or it's going to be about tips and struggles that I face or faced during the writing process. That's literal. I'm a beginner. I'm minus, not zero, minus experience. But I will share the process of what I did to improve what where I was and where I am and to where I wanna be. Let's get some music on, because this is going to be it. Although this has to be in a Q&A, like, people should ask about it. Where did I get my ideas? Where did everything begin? How was I inspired to write this, to do this, and to put myself in this fucking hell? One, I've wanted to write, but I watched I watched series back in middle school, and one of my favorite shows ended. And I had a favorite character. I didn't have enough of that character. And the series ended, and I felt empty. So fucking empty. You know that feeling. This void here, huh? This void here. I don't know. Feels something missing. And I said, I won't buy this bullshit. So I latched on to that character and put the character in different stories, different scenarios, different circumstances, just to fill the void, huh? Fast forward a couple of years, that's back in middle school. I've been still doing that at least 1 hour a day, just before I sleep, like imagining stories and circumstances. So I got to college. That's 4 years ago. And my friend, I said I want to write a book, and I finished everything in my mind, and I'm just revisiting it and edit some stuff, delete some scenarios, add on characters and stuff. And my friend said, "Yo, you should at least write it down, and when you want to edit it on a document, because who knows, you might forget stuff in the future." And that was true. When I started doing the writing process, I started forgetting things, and also I did things did come back to me, and I did remember some things that I've forgotten. But yeah, and that started my writing career. Let's say writing career, because I do have other books in my mind to write in the future. After I finish this, inshallah. And that's how it happened. That made me, jump in the sea of writing. Like, bro, it is difficult. It is, how am I say, it's literal hell. And it's very, very interesting. Although it's difficult, it's fun to write. On my case, it's fun because, for me, I don't know about you, it's a hobby. It's not my main line of income, so I do it whenever I feel it. I know it's not a good thing, but it suits me. Although it never gets the book done, but we'll try my best. What's important that I enjoy the writing process. In the end, it's for me. So, for anyone, that childish idea, someone would have killed it. Anyone would have killed it and let it pass. You might say, it's childish, I was a child, but I still latched onto it. No, I have to get it done. It's like putting a piece of you in the world, and after you pass away, it remains, and it's something beautiful and it's something awesome. As for that, so for every beginner writer out there, here's my tips. Some of my tips that I found easy. Not found easy, that made my writing process easier. For example, you want to write a story, you don't know where to start, what to do. You have a blank page in front of you. And by the way, this is a fucking big ass pimple. Start with creating characters. Oh, but how? It's difficult, and it is fucking difficult. So do as I did. I stole characters from different shows and movies and engineered them, and add on traits and adjust some of their behavior, like kept their main behavior but adjust some stuff, and do that for enough time. After you watch some decent amount of shows based on your taste, based on your preferences, bam, you got decent characters to work with. Now you got character. And plus, you know what? You can add some of your, I've read a book. Should I show you? Okay, I'll bring it. Let me. And sorry because I'm talking so loud, because I had a microphone on my I got the headset on my ear, so I don't hear my tone of voice. I'm just hearing the music. Once again, I apologize if whatever I'll be speaking about is unorganized. Like, my ideas are not organized. I jump from one idea to another and then to another. But I mean, that's what I want to do, because that's who I am. Where did I put those fucking books? I should have prepared. Found it. The Red Sneaker series. What was I talking about? What was I talking about? What was I talking about? Characters that you have. Bab, you have a bunch of characters. You can add on their traits. Also, you can add some of your own traits to the characters. Like the author of this book said, not structure, because it's a. The Red Sneaker, it's a series of books. It's 10 books, and each book covers a topic: story structure, dialogue, character, and so on. And the character said, the author, William, said, many authors make the main MC themselves because they know themselves. The author knows what he likes, what he doesn't like, his behavior. He can adjust, some of his own traits and stuff. Adjust the MC. And bam, you have a free character there, done. Some take you to another level. They don't do it with just one character, but they divide their own traits and scatter it onto different characters. Understand? So, that's what I do for characters. Literally, I've been stealing characters everywhere. Then, so your book has to have an idea. Your MC has to be conflicted, has to have a misbelief, and he has to act based on his misbelief to the very end. In the very end, during the climax, he or she realizes that his misbelief was fucking trash all along, was wrong. And he learns the truth and acts upon that. Why misbelief? But because it creates conflict. How conflict happens? Because we have desires, fears, and you just collide those two. I want something, but I am afraid something else might happen. Conflict. Cowardice. So you have to put your character outside of he or her or his comfort zone. How? Either I don't think that you might do it like voluntarily. The character has balls and okay, I have fears and I have to overcome them. Or you make a scenario that forcefully kicks that character up in his ass or her ass, gender equality, up in their asses and gets them outside of their comfort zone and forces them to fucking act and do whatever they want to do based on their misbelief. So what do we call that? The inciting incident. We fuck you up. Based on the inciting incident, I didn't read nothing. Based on the inciting incident, how do I say it? It marks the beginning of your journey, of the journey of that happens in your book, and it has to have an idea surrounded and based, like you want to convey an idea to the readers. That's it, and that's the disbelief of the MC. Then make a that's conflict, and you fast forward, make villains that are against your MC. There's a big fight. There's climax. After the climax, there's resolution. That marks the end of your story. That's the short one. Then you have subplots. How do I have subplots? Subplots. I don't know. I just do subplots. Yeah. As for the villain, for my book, you don't know who's the villain. Literally, you don't know who's the villain. I have the problem in that, which we'll talk about that. So that's what I'm doing for the characters and the conflict. You have to have your own idea. I have my at least 2 ideas for that thing, and the ideas should at least fit in the context of your story. That's one. That's one. And for story structure, there's something as, like the book says, story structure. If I look up fast, or actually I'll let for another future video, we will talk about it. Your story has to have a structure, which is the story structure, the 3-act structure. Which I haven't based my story on it. I don't know. I've made shit ton of mistakes so far, and which we'll be talking about later on. So I like the story structure because you have a map that you can navigate and that you can put in your scenarios, your stories, the events in your stories in. You can scatter them properly. And the 3-act structure. What has to happen in the first act? What has to happen in the second act? The second act is the body of your story, so it needs to compose the majority of your book. And then you have the third act, which there's the climax should be in. That's the story structure. Should I talk about my struggles now? Should I make it into another video? Okay, let's go to the struggles that I have. So, for the beginner writer, for a 0- experienced writer as I am, I fucked up shit ton. For example, I started my book as a It wasn't as a book. I just put the name, 2 dots, or the 2 dots. I don't know That's another of my problems. I don't know punctuation. I don't punctuate. I just write down the shit. Uh, and put it in the dialogue. No body language, no case scenario, no. Let me change the music. Fuck the music. No case scenario, no environment, just name and dialogue. My friend told me that this is a theater. Theater, like you're writing a theater. There's some word to it. I cannot remember. It was on my tongue. You're writing a screenplay. You're not writing a book. From that, I readjusted my writing again. That's one of my mistakes. Two, and still I don't have chapters yet. I went in the road of finishing the book, then dividing the chapters, which is so. It will be pain in the ass. Yes, I know. I've made that mistake. But whatever. I didn't know. I went with that idea of finishing the book, then dividing the chapters. So now I do not know how many chapters are in my book. I don't know the chapters' names. I don't know when to finish each chapter, but I have a tip or something that makes it easier. So at the end of each chapter, it should be for example, this is a page and this is a page. Let's say this is the end of the chapter. The feelings, and there should be some sort of resolution after each chapter, but then there should be questions remained unanswered in order to make the reader continue reading, want to read more. And the emotion that started, that the chapter began with, should be different from the emotion that the chapter ended with. For example, it started with excitement. It should end in fucking grief, sadness. I don't know, or neutral. But don't make it the same thing. It started in excitement and ended with excitement, because the reader will fucking be bored. That's one. Two, punctuation. I'm shit garbage. I've talked about it because, and I repeat it again. English is not my first language. I've learned it, and I'm still trash at it. Grammar. But although I'm a college student, the grammar that I've studied back in my school years, I don't remember shit. When I talk based on my feelings. Like when I form a sentence, and I speak it out, it feels right, I go with it. If it feels wrong, and that's a big mistake. Grammar is grammar, and you have to make your grammar light, because it's not like, oh, the reader just cares about the story and the characters. I know the grammar, it's as much as important as everything else, because it says that you have put in work into the thing that you've written. Yeah. Grammar. Vocab. I have difficulty in vocab, because yet again I'm not a native speaker. Even native speakers have difficulty with vocab, but I messed up. So if you have a decent vocabulary, it actually helps out. For example, instead of a 10-word sentence, you can, with decent vocabulary, you can make it into 5-word sentence, and it will help you quite a lot with the wordings of your book and your dialogue as well. Because sometimes me, one character speaks a fucking paragraph, and I don't know how to shorten it because I don't have the capability of. I know what you. Uh, the dialogue is there is the capability, like I know that you, if you have the skills, you can shorten it, but I don't have that skill, so I write it as much as I could. I shortened it out as much as I could, and keep the rest for my editor. That's gonna cost so much if you keep a lot of, make a mess and don't edit and fix things as much as you can, because all of that will come out of your pocket, of your wallet in the future. And here you want to make money from your book that you're investing so much, and it might not sell. I'm just saying, and that's for you, not for me. I don't give a shit. I just want to get this piece into the world. Vocabulary. You have to have a decent vocabulary because you need it with the body language, because the body language makes your dialogue more alive, makes your character feel more alive, and makes them real. And that's a problem. If you do not know how to do that, that's a big problem, because there's something called action beats. Action beats, when you finish a dialogue or a dialogue, in between dialogues there's action beats, like he took a big sip of the smoke, or took a sip of his coffee before contemplating how fucked up life is. I'm bad at those. I'm fucking bad at those. I couldn't form a decent example now. Or he looked out the window and kerosene his beard while looking at the sunset and saying, I should go back to her. Yeah. So action beats. It is debated whether to make your characters more alive, more real, because as I don't know if William says it, or I watched it in a video or read it in a blog, because people read books, fictional books, mainly because they are trying to escape reality, and they don't need more realism. If they wanted realism, they will go into the real world and experience realism. So that's it. And vocab, body language, and there is how to write dialogue. Your dialogue, so there's this thing in dialogue that's called character voice, which means each character voiced differently from the other characters, because each person is unique, speaks in a different way, like I do, like my characters are, because if you're speaking the same, that means, you don't want your readers to feel that this book was written by one person, and all the dialogues are familiar, but they just have different names attached to it. So your dialogue must be real, must be different, must be unique. Each character has to have their own character, their own voice, their own attitudes, their own the way they speak, the way they do stuff. Which takes us to another thing, which is called character profile. Which is another mistake that I'm actually making, and I'm halfway through. Not halfway through. I'm just in the last act of the story. The character profile simply is the name of their character, the date of their birth, what they like, what they don't like, their behavior, and a little bit of history from the date of their birth till till their fucking death, or till the point of the story, which really helps a lot. It even makes sense the way they will behave, the way they will act in your story, and even brings up interesting topics in the dialogue. For example, you have a character that was rejected by everyone. That character knew, and then she got accepted. She felt some warmth. This is an example of one of my characters in my book. She felt some warmth from a certain person. She got attached to him so bad. She told him, I was rejected by everyone, and you were the only one who accepted me. And I cannot let go of you. I wanted you to be all mine. But the harder I try, the further you get. And it's hurting me. Yeah. Or a loved one's death that hugely affected the character, and while he's seeing another character, another one, doing some mistakes, he tries to advise the person before it's too late. Because once that loved one is gone, everything is pitch black and life is fucked, and you'll regret whatever you fucking did. So it's really helping to make a character profile after you make your characters, because it really influences the story. It really influences the story and makes it more beautiful and makes it more complex. And here we are again on another thing, making your characters complex. And it's debatable again, because they say, and I really agree with this idea, because characters are fictional, and they cannot be as complex as a real human being, because human beings are really fucking complex. And this is a fictional character. So it's not an excuse to not put in work with your character. Yeah, do so, put in some work with your character, but remind yourself as the character doesn't need to be as complex as possible. And if you can do it as complex as possible, you. Congratulations, I tip my hat for you. That's for character. So grammar, punctuation. Again, vocabulary does. We did talk about body language and expression, of course, and action beats, character voice, and although there's not much humor in I don't think there's much humor in my book, because there's not much humor in my book, But it said that uh, it doesn't only need to be one character to be humorous, because everyone has a sense of humor, slightly different or quite different, but everyone is humorous, everyone's funny. You don't need to make only one character funny. You can make multiple characters funny, but they have to be different. That's one. We talked about the chapters. We talked about it. And make the villain as complex as the MC. The villain has to have a decent character profile. You have to put in some decent work into the villain. And the villain has to be a kind of psychopath. He has to be the hero of his own story, and he has to have driven goals and ideas driving to do what he does, because simply hating someone is not enough. On the topic of show not to tell, in regards of the expression, body language, action beats, vocab, which all are adding up all together, we have show not tell. Show not tell. Show not tell. The last one felt like I was saying Nutella, but not tell, which is the pivot, literally the pivot of whatever you do. The pivot, the fucking pivot, and I cannot do it. You have to when you describe a scene, or you describe a character's frustration, you don't just write he's frustrated. You have to write something else. That's something else. I don't know how. I don't know. But you have to incorporate the five senses in it. Because the more you incorporate the reader's sense, like you put it into the main character's shoes, or that character's shoes, they feel more related. They feel it themselves, and they feel like immersed, which is what we want as writers. We want our readers to be immersed in the story, immersed in the world, and feel related to the characters, and have favorite characters, hated characters, whatever. Five senses: the taste of the coffee, the taste of the blood, the taste of the the warmth of the lover's hand, that sweet butterflying feeling in your stomach and in your chest and in your that sugary feeling in your brain when you're with your lover, when you're with your significant one, significant other, your soulmate. I don't know. You create something, but you have to incorporate senses. I focus on the sense of smell and heat, temperature. Describe your scenes. That's 40 minutes of. And I still have some stuff to go. So, again, some more struggles. Me. I really should. No, let's talk about character name. I still haven't picked up character names, but I have the idea that I should. After a long time, I just recently got the idea of how to name my characters. So I have two different tribes, and I am naming them differently based on their culture, based on their environment and how they behave, their behavior. That's how I'm going to name them. As for the names, I don't know nothing yet. I didn't put in the time for the names yet because I am trying to finish the story first. Then I will write down the names. Names. Oh, it's a fucking villain on its own. Names. The character on names, we have book name. And believe me, this is the only name that I came up with so far since the early beginning of my writing process. I got this name. As for how to pick up the process of picking up a book name, I haven't written I haven't watched videos on this topic, because the name that I've picked up for my book, it just feels right. I don't know. It feels like it meant to be named like this. Even my author name, I've stole my author name from a book. So a character called another character, you're a delusion boy. I love that name. It stuck from me ever since. And so the original language of the manga that I've read is Japanese. It's manga Japanese. The translation, it was translated into Delusion Boy. I loved it, and it stuck with me. I stole it. Yeah. But the thing is, I bought the manga, and it was the same scene, the same dialogue. It was translated into something else. It wasn't Delusion Boy no more. So it felt like it meant to be that I read that chapter, read that scene, read this word, this name, Delusion Boy, and it stuck with me ever since. And I don't know when, but when it did happen, it stuck with me ever since. Yeah. Although I've been criticized on this pen name, but I love it. I even named my channel on it. So as for plots, you have main plots and subplots. I assume you know this, but the ideas for subplot for your plots and subplots, I get ideas from shows I watch. I watch a lot of stuff, so now as me as a person, I don't watch stuff for just entertainment, although it's a big part of it. It's one big reason of why I watch whatever I watch, entertainment. But now I watch it, so I analyze the scenarios. So I see one thing and I try to predict what will happen, and believe me, 99% of my predictions are right, because I've been doing this shit for so long. And the ones that I do not predict, I take note of them. Something that I liked about it, something that was off about it, something that was different about it, something that was unique. That's how I do get ideas, from watching. Literally, bro, if you do it enough, you'll get ideas. I got an idea from watching porn, bro. Believe me. I had to say it. Like, if you do it long enough, you'll get ideas, even with watching porn. I hope this is good as a starter for this playlist, but I don't know what to name the playlist. Tips and struggles of a beginner writer or something like that. I don't know. We'll think of it later. Uh, this is you probably know it now. If you, if you're far in the video, I still haven't named my characters. You want me to name a playlist? Come on, bro. No, bro. This I've made it just like 10-15 minutes. It's fucking shekels. It's just get over it. But one thing that, although it's a big fucking mess, literally it's a big fucking mess, but I still write it. What is important is that you, although you're trash, like I am, though you're garbage, good for nothing, you have no fucking skills, you have no fucking idea of what you do, just fucking do it. Literally. I improved way much just by writing. Your writing is a practice. Whatever you write now is just practice. Just fucking get over it. And believe me, it will be trash. You'll feel fucking cringy. I'm not sure what am I going to do after I finish it. I want to really make it public, but I'm afraid of criticism. You'll get trashed on, shit on. Believe me, I'm afraid of it, and I know that it will going to happen. It will happen. It's inevitable that it will happen. But you gotta do what you gotta do. I want to do it. And your first book will be trash. Yeah, your first book will be trash. Yeah, so how you doing, man? Hope you're doing good. Idea is that if I have anything else to talk about, just don't forget to enjoy what you do. I do really enjoy what I'm doing, which is killing off my characters. Yeah. Have a great day. Have a wonderful day, and stick to your dreams. No one supported me on my dream, and literally I disclosed my book to my younger brother and my best friend. They shit on me, and they said, "Oh no, it's bad. It's cliched and stuff." Why it's cliched? Because people want it. Why they call it cliche? Because it fucking sells. It fucking does sell. And what do you care about? Or what do you care about? Selling my pocket, man, bro. I've been doing shit ton of work. Of course, I deserve some monies. Don't listen to whoever who breaks you down. Keep moving forward. Do what you want to do because you live one life, and you don't. Come on, you don't tell me you're living based on what other people tell you to do. You're living one life. You have to live for yourself, bruv. You have to live for yourself, bruv. I wish you the best. As for now, peace. Have a great day.